Okay, good evening. Oh, this is one of my favorite things to do. I only wish we were together in a home, seeing each other's faces and feeling one another in a energetic way to talk about this. My name is Tanya Sheldon, and I live in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I recently moved back from Boise, Idaho, and I have friends that are saying I live in Sioux Falls, Idaho, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll go with that for a little while. I kind of like that. But I am so grateful that tonight I am able to partner up with someone that I didn't know when I said yes to this opportunity 14 years ago. And now she's just one of my dearest friends. And I just love when I get to be around her, Nikki Elsing. So tonight we get to share with you the gift that is LifeVantage. It is something that has been a part of both of our lives, like I said, for 14 years and a little more than that for Nikki. And this is something that was brought into my life at a time when I had a husband that was dealing with a lot of health issues, and I was a stay-at-home mom looking for opportunity. I was at high noon, ready to make a difference outside of my role as being a wife and a mom. And network marketing, that is what the industry that LifeVantage is in, was something that was not new to me. I had tried 7 companies before finding LifeVantage. And I just believed with all my heart that the industry of network marketing was the way that I was going to become everything that I knew God had designed me to be. And I'm not wrong in that. Saying yes to this 14 years ago has changed me in the best way possible. It's changed my husband's life health-wise, and it's changed our life financially as well. So we're going to share with you tonight a PowerPoint. We're going to go through this because having a visual is so nice as we go through all these slides. And again, the company LifeVantage, I get to tell you about that first because I want you to know the foundation of the company that we're behind. Because as I went through my different companies, my 7 other companies, there were so many aspects that I was never told to look for when you're looking at products that you want to take or a business that you really want to build a legacy with. So a little bit about LifeVantage before I get introduce you to Nikki. First of all, LifeVantage is a pioneer in the word activation. And Nikki's going to tell you about what activation represents tonight. But LifeVantage is here, and Nikki and I are here all because of investigative report, an ABC investigative report that aired in 2005. John Quinones went in to debunk the findings of a researcher and scientist with this flagship product that he created called Protandim Nerf 2. And usually when they have ABC investigative reports, they're chasing them down in the parking lot and it doesn't end well. And they wanted to debunk the findings of this researcher and scientist. Well, long story short, they did not. And they found through research, through studies, through a blood test live on ABC News that what he said was true. And that is why we get to be here today, because after that ABC report aired, and Nikki will tell you more about what they found in that ABC report, but there were thousands of people that wanted the product. But it was a small nondescript bottle that sat on store shelves. And when people went into places like GNC's, they had no idea what it did, no idea what it was. So it sat on store shelves for about 3 years, and then they were going to sell off the company because it just wasn't performing the way they wanted it to. But the gentleman they brought in said, there's a story here to be told. What if you just change your distribution model and you put it in the hands of people? And I'm going to ask you, when you find something you love, when you watch a movie that you love, when you take a product that you love, do you gatekeep it or do you talk to people about it? We tell people about it, right? And when you sum that up, that is what network marketing is. So when they put it in the hands of people, they tripled their sales. So they ended up taking off the store shelf, and we became LifeVantage in 2009. And that's why we're here today, being able to share this information with you. Now, we are a company of high retention, high revenue. We do approximately a quarter of about 250 million a year, and we are still a baby apple. There are so many people that do not know what activation is. They do not know the story of activation, how it works in your body, and they do not know about our products. And our retention rate is very, very high, 70% to be accurate. And that is telling you that people continue to use a product and they keep coming back. We are very financially transparent. We are publicly traded on the NASDAQ, which is amazing. That means we cross our T's, dot our I's. Everything is so transparent. And we are a debt-free company. And so much so that our being debt-free, we were able to partner with the new company. I'm going to tell you about that in a second. But we only worldwide have about 132,000 people that are telling the story of LifeVantage. When you think about all the people in the world, you guys, that is such a small number. So for me, that speaks opportunity, right? We are highly recognized. We have been in the best of the best publications when we talk about Forbes, Newsweek. This is our CEO, Steve Fife. And if ever you wanted a steady, calm, visionary leader, that is what we have with LifeVantage. And as I said, we just got into partnership with a company called Love Biome. We have been looking for a few years to partner with the right company, but their products and their story and their vision had to align with our story of activation. And that's what we found with Love Biome. And this partnership just came together at the beginning of November, which does give us more voices to share this story, but we still don't have enough. So now I get to turn this over to my dear friend. She is a registered dietitian, nutritionist, and wellness coach. Nikki Elsing has dedicated the past 25 years to advancing health, wellness, and disease prevention. She is well known as a nutrition expert through her extensive media work on television and in print during her years as a media spokesperson for her home state, South Dakota. Nikki's expertise in nutrition, supplements, diabetes, and metabolic syndrome management, integrative nutrition, and a nutrigenomics in a cardiovascular specialty hospital extended into gut dysfunction, absorption issues, and specialty diets from her years consulting in a gastroenterology office. I forgot about that, Nikki. Oh my gosh, you guys, I can't wait for you to hear from her. Using her experience with supplement evaluation, Nikki developed her own meal replacement drink marketed directly to healthcare professionals in late 2010. While seeking answers to the ongoing health struggles nationally, Nikki brought her expertise in health and wellness into the network marketing industry after being introduced to LifeVantage. She was introduced in 2011, and with the company's extensive focus on product research and development, Nikki has been able to continue her mission of health and wellness through activation, resulting in an extremely powerful combo when combined with nutrition and movement. She resides in South Dakota with her husband, Mitch, and her two phenomenal children. And she is engaged in the LifeVantage community while attending. Oh, her children are also in LifeVantage while attending college. So, without further ado, Nikki, I cannot wait for you to share the story of activation with everybody.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Tanya, seriously, does she not get you guys excited listening to her? Like, I feel like I should have her read my books to me because she is so good at keeping all my interest and her voice and all the good things. So, Tanya, bless your heart. I could not even imagine LifeVantage without you. And I'm so glad you're here in South Dakota, even if it's Idaho, South Dakota, or whatever that was before. But Tanya has a little bit of a different background than me, right? And when we look at the people that this business attracts, it's so much fun to see the differences and being able to have us meld together. Now, Tanya had said she'd been in 7 different companies before LifeVantage, and I've never been in one ever before in my entire life. And so when she's talking about this business being this little tiny apple, that's me. I came in not knowing anything about it. But I knew working in this cardiovascular hospital, working in the gastroenterology office, working to be able to help people with their health and wellness in front of large groups and people that needed better options, right? because what we were doing wasn't getting people where they needed to be. And we needed to look into more prevention, ways to be able to do that. And I'm super excited to be part of LifeVantage. I feel super, super blessed. And I'm also excited to teach you all about activation because there is a huge difference in supplementation versus activation. So, myself as a registered dietitian, nutritionist, and wellness coach, I talked a lot about activation or supplementation, sorry. I talked a lot about decreasing inflammation, lowering oxidative stress. Like literally, that's what I talked about all day long. Limit processed foods and don't eat a lot of white refined processed carbohydrates and try to like do what you can to be able to lower oxidative stress and inflammation. That's what I talked about all day. And then I came to a meeting like this and heard about activation and its impact on oxidative stress and inflammation. And I went from sitting in the room going, why am I here? I have so much to do at home. My kids were little. I had a few different jobs, as you heard, all happening all at once. And then as I'm listening and as they talked about the research, I went from, okay, why am I here to, oh my gosh, can I take this home with me tonight? Like, I couldn't get my hands on this fast enough. And I don't know about you guys, but if this is on national television, right, and John Quinones is up there and they're doing all these tests and they proved that what we said was true, that's great, right? And then to see the difference and have these researchers spending their money on our product to see how it works in disease and prevention and health and wellness, that's a huge compliment. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm here. And the very main reason I'm here, just like Tanya, I didn't know to ask all the questions about the business because I just wanted to know the research. And if you're here and you're from a background that is in healthcare or research or any of that, I strongly suggest that you pull up PubMed and you dig at activation, Nerf2 activation, Protandim, all this stuff I'm going to talk about here. And you will find most likely everything you need to be able to say, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. So, supplementation, they taught me this in school, right? We have this huge, broad range of recommendations of this for people in general, right? And I'm picking and guessing in this supplementation that I think this is about what that person needs. Well, what if there was a way to be able to give them exactly what they need because their body knows how to do it? That's activation, you guys. So traditional supplementation, we add nutrients. We're working on filling gaps, and it's just kind of like, yeah, well, I hope it works out, right? And then we'll run some labs and see kind of how things are going. And we're able to do a little bit at a time. When we look at activation with our LifeVantage products, we're activating pathways in our body, like survival pathways, right? And guess what knows your body best? Your body. And when your body's in charge of activating these pathways and producing things it needs, it knows exactly what to do. We don't have to worry about too much, too little. If we're on the right path, did I give you the right dose? All of this stuff, it's so much simpler. And so we're basically talking about nutrigenomics, right? Because we're able to change our future by activating our body to take better care of itself. So we're looking at optimizing function and energy. We're targeting root cause. When we talk about decreasing oxidative stress, that's root cause, you guys. That's not taking a Band-Aid and a Band-Aid and a Band-Aid and then putting another Band-Aid because something that we gave you before isn't really doing it. So now we got to switch that. We're talking take the Band-Aid off and get to what's underneath that. That's the issue, right? And you already heard me say science-backed health and longevity. Well, what if we can influence longevity and have better quality of life? Yes, please. So LifeVantage is the activation company and we take it to make it. So we're taking our products to be able to empower our bodies to make these things that we need. And like Tanya was mentioning, it's changed your life financially and for myself as well. And in my opinion, there is absolutely no better way to make a living than to help people be taking care of themselves and be that person that offers this to them, right? And being able to see the change in their health and their wellness and their financial health, that's a big deal. So I really like this slide because really, you guys, when we think about this, like I was saying, we needed better options, right? I have Joanne on here and she was in business with me. She actually worked with me at the hospital and they would say, oh my gosh, you know, people are still having heart attacks. We need to lower their LDL cholesterol. And Joanne and I are like, you guys, what else can we do? What about oxidative stress? What about inflammation? What about HDL? There's more to it. And that's what's exciting because we have these deteriorations over time, right? We have a slower processing, we have less clarity, lower energy. We need help being able to protect our heart, our brain, all of our organ systems, and our recovery. And if we have a way to be able to do that, that's important to find, right? We all want to feel better and we all want to make it so that our body is able to do a better job. So when we think about the root cause, we start at the cells, right? So we have healthy cells, and when we improve our cells, we improve our tissues, we improve our organs, we improve our systems, and then we result in a healthier body. So going across that whole spectrum, think of those changes that we have that opportunity to influence. Very, very important. So, as we were talking a little bit about our friend John, right? Well, not our friend, but I mean, we all talk about him all the time. So, he seems like our friend, and I'm a big Dateline fan and all those 2020s, etc. But anyway, so back then, like literally, you guys, this will be 15 years for me in this business in March. That's wild. And I had no idea how big this could get, but I knew that everybody I knew and cared about and more needed to know about it because it's hope. This is hope in this blue bottle to me. But it started back then, right? And when they had that ABC primetime investigative report show, they're showing, look at this oxidative stress. And when you're able to put in Protandim in there, look at that. As you age is across the bottom, and it stayed the same. And it didn't have that increase in oxidative stress. This is when I went from this to, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. So Protandim Nerve 2 reduces oxidative stress in everyone by an average of 40% in 30 days. Now, I'm a dietitian, I'm a nutritionist. I want you to eat well. I want you to take care of yourself. I want you to move more. But I also know that if I could pair this with those things, that's absolutely powerful. And no other anti-aging or antioxidant supplement can even come close to this, you guys. And it's proven, it's scientifically validated. One pill. And so when I talk about oxidative stress, you guys might be going, I don't even really know what that is. Like, yeah, I'm stressed, like work is stress, but what is oxidative stress? Well, oxidative stress happens in your entire body. And when it's not controlled, it is that little switch, just like a little light switch that says, hey, you know what? Come on in here. Let's work on causing problems. We don't want that, you guys. Uncontrolled oxidative stress causes problems and can be that root cause of over 200 or more diseases. Like, look at this slide. It influences heart, eyes, all kinds of organs, blood vessels, immune system, brain, lungs, joints, kidneys, skin, everywhere. And so this is something that we really, really are excited about. And honestly, Tanya and my heart and our heads are so full of so many stories of people having significant changes and improvements. And one thing that I absolutely love, and this is really the attention getter for me, is that when I went to pubmed.gov, which you see on the screen there, that's the National Library of Medicine's like massive library of research studies. So your medical professionals that are making significant decisions in treatments for different things go to the same exact place to help determine care for you. Okay. And this is when they're listening to people present and going through, they're going here to get the information. If you go to pubmed.gov and you type in that little search bar and you type in Protandim, our studies will come up. And there's a little bit at the beginning that you can look at that just kind of summarizes it, which makes it easier. But this is definitely a great resource. But what's really fun is if you type in oxidative stress in the top of there, you will see a ton of different studies. And when I started, there were about 86,000 studies published on oxidative stress almost 15 years ago. Now there's what, over 300 and some, maybe 340. I can't remember off the top of my head. You guys check, 340,000. So definitely something that's gathering attention because when we can get to the root cause of all these things by lowering oxidative stress, that makes people pay attention. So let's start with the first guy. This is it. This is the one that went, oh my gosh, I need to know more about it. Protandim NRF2 Synergizer. And Washington State University, and it talked about this on that ABC Primetime Investigative Report, talked about this as Nerf2 as being the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. You guys, that's a big deal. And you know what? You don't even have to believe me. Get excited because I'm excited and Tanya's excited, but believe the research that's been done, right? This is talking about over 30 different independent studies that have been done by places like Harvard, Ohio State, National Institute of Health, National Institute of Aging. I mean, tons of different, very highly respected places that spent their money researching our product because we're not a drug, right? We're a supplement. And so we don't have a lot of money to be able to throw into research. And it's better if we don't. Because if they do it for us and they prove it, and we're like, hey, well, that's what they said, right? That's a huge, huge deal. And we don't interpret any of it. They're doing that for us, which is great. So we take Protandim Nerve 2 to make antioxidants. And we talked about that oxidative stress is that root cause, and that more oxidative stress makes you age faster. I don't want to age faster. So the question, do you want to age slower or faster? Very simple, right? Obviously, we want to age slower. And when we look at this and we're activating our body to be able to make its own antioxidants, they're a million times more powerful than any of those other supplements that you can take. Love it. That's wild, wild. And so, just for fun, as we're looking at these things, we were like, hey, you know what? There are more issues that we need to grab a hold of. And what else can we activate? What else can we make a difference in? How can we help our body to be able to do exactly what we need and make it be most effective? So, we've expanded our Protandim family, right? Which is fantastic. So, we talked about Protandim Nerve 2, right? We talked a little bit about the antioxidants and then also detoxification. I didn't mention that before, but if you could have a daily detox, fantastic. That's what we're doing. That's awesome, right? So this is a different theory of aging, that oxidative stress theory. Well, most of you have probably heard about mitochondria, right? And that's what our Protandim NRF1 Synergizer works on, increasing your mitochondria, okay? Helps to make sure your mitochondrial health is great, and delivers those nutrients to be able to support their function, okay? And you can look up mitochondrial dysfunction and you'll see what issues come because of mitochondrial dysfunction. And so it's another very, very important part of aging well and trying to be able to keep all of our ducks in a row, right? And then our last one in the family is our Protandim NAD Synergizer. You guys have probably heard a lot about NAD, right? People talking about it all the time. They're going in and getting infusions, they're doing all this stuff, and little do they know it's not really doing what it's supposed to do effectively when you're using it in that way. And so they're expensive, and a lot of it isn't going to do what you exactly want it to do. So being able to know that we can activate your body to influence this theory of aging with sirtuins, and influence longevity, huge. So then they thought, hey, you know what? Let's just do some research and put them all together and see what happens. Well, check it out. We have our Nerf 2, Nerf 1, NAD, right? You see all three of them up there. And it's kind of divided into three sections. So 2, 2, and 2. And you'll see that the little gray boxes are amazing and it's increasing these very, very well. But look what's happening when you add all three together. That is huge. And we found that a lot with our products, that when we add in Protandim Nerve 2 and we're putting these together, they increase the effectiveness of what they're trying to do. So really a fun slide there. So recently we added in collagen, and you guys, I say this a lot about my favorites, and Nerf 2, you will have to like pry that bottle of Nerf 2 out of my hand because there's not a day that I don't take that, right? But I think the other hand will have that bottle of collagen. And so those are my two. I absolutely am in love. And literally when we came out with this collagen, and you guys might not believe me, but I'm telling the truth, the God's honest truth, is that I could literally feel changes happening in my body. Like when I started, I'd be like, oh my gosh, why does my wrist hurt? That's so weird. What's going on? And then it would do it for a couple days and then it got better. And then my belly was gurgling on one side. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, this is it. It's doing the work. It's reconstructing everything I need inside my body. So if you think of your body as a house, these are the two by fours. This is a structure. This is putting it like making sure everything's the where it's supposed to go, including this and this and this, pulling some of this up, right? And hair and all the things. But you guys, it's more than that. We take this healthy glow stack, which is our liquid collagen per tandem, to make antioxidants and make collagen. And guess what happens? When we put those two together, it increases your collagen by 100%. Nuts, right? That's crazy. And so if we're able to increase collagen, that's tremendous. And I see it in my parents. The difference in them, they have been customers for 15 years almost, and they're diehard collagen users. And the difference in them, they just look so much younger than they did 10 years ago. It's wild. But my favorite is what it's doing on the inside. And so making sure that we remember that it influences all of our body processes, right? And what was really fun is we did a study, we, LifeVantage, looked at gene studies. So we can do this because there's no gray area. It's very black and white, either did or didn't. And what we noticed was it helped those fibroblasts in our cells that go around and repair all kinds of things and related to stress and all that have more of a normal reaction to stress. So you may have people that you know that have different health situations where they're attacking healthy tissues. Or maybe you remember a few years ago where people had this thing that lasted forever and they couldn't figure out why is it still lasting so long and causing so much problem? Because your body is overreacting to stress. And when we had added in our healthy glow stack and people are using that, it helps your body to go, oh my gosh, there's a problem. Let me fix it. And then I can be like, oh, yep, nope, I got it. It's good, good, good. Settle down, settle down. We don't have to get so worked up about it. We'll just sit here and wait for the next thing to come. And so when we look at this, we're talking very highly absorbable. We're talking extremely clean. I know that on the bottom you see a lot about skin stuff, but when I see the inside stuff that this is doing, and I hear about people in joint health and all that, that's what I'm going for. I don't mind the outside appearance changes too, but I absolutely love the inside. So check this out. Couple cool pictures to be able to look at. And it's really fun to be able to just see that difference for people. 100% increase in that collagen. So exciting, exciting things. So every day I also take Axio. Axio is something that came to us when people were consuming a lot of energy drinks. It was just crazy, crazy, crazy energy drinks, right? And we all know they're not the greatest thing. We would see people coming into the ER with issues related to overconsumption of these products. And so we needed to be able to do something else. And yes, Shauna, huge for muscle recovery and flexibility. Thank you. And one other thing about that too, when you take Protandim Nerf 2, it increases your glutathione by 300%. And so when Shauna's talking about recovery and all of that, that's huge, right? And people that train, they can train hard and recover faster. And so anybody you knew that's an athlete, that's tremendous. But also think of you when you get hurt. If you can recover faster, that's amazing. Okay, back to Axio. So um, we pulled this out and said, hey, okay, this is something we all need to do. We need to give people a healthier alternative to energy drinks without a crash. None of this nonsense, none of this nasty stuff inside there. We just want it nice and clean. And looking at an executive focus drink is what I call it. Mental clarity, focus, definitely supporting that positive mood helps. I've even had little kids that are able to not get in trouble like they used to because it's not so busy up here and things are more organized, which is really, really important. But on a side note, oh yeah, this is great too. But on a side note, as a dietitian, when I would meet with my patients, it's very difficult to give them recommendations on what to drink besides water and tea. I mean, what else, you know? Like, what are you going to drink at 2 o'clock in the afternoon that isn't full of sugar or loaded with artificial sweeteners? There's not a lot of choices. Unfortunately, I didn't have this back then to be able to share with people. But honestly, that's one of my favorite things to have to drink is me being able to reach in my fridge. We make it by the pitcher, pour it in there. It's totally guilt-free. I don't have to worry about 15 calories, no artificial anything. I love that. But look at what it's done here. A third grade spelling test before and 15 minutes after. They were doing the spelling test and it wasn't going so great, as you can see. And it was like, all right, hold on, we're gonna take a break. Let's drink some Axio. Let's see what happens. And look at this. Everything's in a nice little row. And I don't know about you guys, but this nice little rose stuff ain't just for kids, right? This girl needs help on keeping everything in it the way it's supposed to, and helping to organize the stuff that I have going on in my head. So really, really fun to be able to think that we can have those benefits from something that's good for you, right? And so a little bit ago, we came out with our mind body system, and you guys have all heard about GLP-1, right? And people increasing their GLP-1 in ways that maybe aren't the greatest ideas, but people are doing it sometime. My recommendation is looking to be able to activate it within your own body. So your body's in charge, it wakes it up, makes sure it's paying attention, helps to balance out hormones and all of these things that you need to work with. That's what GLP-1 does, right? It's helping to be able to balance and get things more into the way that they're supposed to be. I also know that our system helps to be able to get your food to move through slower, helps to be able to, which can also help with blood sugars, right? Because if your food isn't going through like crazy, it makes it so it slows down, helps to make it so you're not going to have as many snacks. And I'm going to kind of throw myself under the bus here a little bit, but we have our favorite Thai restaurant here in town, and I love their chicken pad Thai. And after I started my MB, we went in, and I mean, I would take a little bit home, but not as much as I should, right? And so I order this pad Thai, and I'm eating it, and then I was done. I was full. I loved it, and it was amazing. It tasted great, but I was done. They came up to me and said, "Oh my gosh, is everything okay? Did it not taste good tonight?" I took that home and I had two more meals out of that thing. And so looking at that as being able to save money, but also it's less food I'm putting into my system, right? And I didn't feel bad about it. It was just all good stuff. I also feel like this is such a tremendous way to have a healthy influence while maintaining muscle mass and getting your body to help increase its own GLP-1. So really, really fun to be able to add that in. And I don't know if anybody knows this guy. Tanya knows this guy very well. This is Tanya's husband, Kyle. And Kyle, he has changed so many things in his life, and adding in the MB system literally made him into a new man. But you know, when you think about it, like look at my willpower with my favorite food and the pad thai, right? It gave me what I needed to be able to go, I can do this and I can figure it out. And Kyle needed a way to have some little kick in the shorts to go, hey, you can do this, buddy, and you can figure it out. And he did, and he's doing fantastic. And Tanya will maybe tell you a little bit more later. We'll see how much time we have. But it's a really neat thing to be able to see people thrive and take control of things that have been hard to control before. So you guys heard a little bit that I have some background in guts. I call it guts, right? And I would have loved to have this back in the day. I didn't have it, unfortunately. And I absolutely love these new products. And the more that I'm learning about it, I am becoming a ridiculous raving fan. I don't know, when we talk about, and I'm not going to tell you all the details, but I just want you to know that when we're looking at activating our own gut peptides, this is nuts, you guys. Like, so darn exciting, because this is more than probiotics and prebiotics and postbiotics. I mean, we're talking digestive enzymes, which is fantastic too. And so are all three of those things I just said. But when we're able to activate, we can take our P84, which is what this new product is. We can make our own gut peptides, and we can activate 14 different peptides that regulate, repair, restore, because there is more to your guts than just probiotics, guys, right? We have a lot of things. And honestly, if you think about it, we all eat lots of different things, right? Every day we're throwing all kinds of stuff its way, and it's got to figure out how to deal with it, keep everything like closed in, the bad stuff out, the good stuff in, have a nice microbiome environment, and all these things, and digest whatever it is you just threw in there, and you want it to go through at a normal speed and produce a result. That's a lot of things. And when we have the ability to influence that, that's fantastic. And now this isn't to say, oh, you guys don't need to eat your fruits and vegetables anymore. No way, nice try, right? You still need to eat well, but adding this in to help fill in the gaps and being able to activate those gut peptides, really, really good. My favorite way to have it is with my Axio. So if you have a favorite drink, you can mix in whatever you want. They're two little packets. You see them on the bottom, one and two. and you mix them together, add them in water. You water when ready. I heard somebody say that before, and I absolutely love that because you don't need it sit in water a long time. It's nothing to sit and sip on for 3 hours. You just mix it up and get her gone is basically the way I want you to look at it. But we have a ton of things in there looking at targeted probiotics, different formulas to be able to have detoxification and feeding and nourishing. Really, really good with these microbiome friendly ingredients. And your microbiome is totally different than anybody else's microbiome, right? It's kind of like a fingerprint. And so we need, when we're able to have our body be able to activate what it needs to produce the different peptides that your personal gut needs, we win. So it's fantastic to be able to look at that. Um, Give me 1 second here while Tanya switches the slide for me. Uh-oh, it stopped working. Um, so P84, tremendously huge. When we look at the differences, I absolutely love the fact that LifeVantage has, thanks Tanya, great job, has always been really, really conscientious about what's in our product, not just for research purposes, right? Because we know people are researching our products, but for the end consumers. And that's us too, as consultants, right? We're the end consumer, but we don't have to worry about any yuck stuff in there. And I say yuck stuff, and I use it as a general term. It's not very fancy, but it encompasses all those things that we don't want anything to do with, right? We want them in as small amounts as we can. And look at non-GMO, 100% vegan, gluten-free, soy-free, no added sugar, dairy-free, all kinds of good things to be able to add in. And I think people love that it is all these different products in one, right? We're able to put all of these things in here. And I'm going to just read a little bit on the right side. Um, Looking at fermentation, we're looking at a glutathione precursor. We talked about that with Nerf 2, and think about this also then. A detox and a toxin binder, the postbiotics, probiotics, prebiotics, and all kinds of different colors. And if I can do all those things just by taking two little packets and putting it into liquid and slurping that down, that's crazy, right? I think that's fantastic. But one extra tip when you're thinking about mind body and you're thinking about P84, I laugh because I look at Tanya and she's like, uh-oh, these extra tips sometimes get kind of weird. I want to tell you to rinse out your glass. Okay. So when you're done drinking your MB enhanced powder or you're drinking your P84, rinse it out in case you throw it in your dishwasher. There's a ton of fiber and lots of good stuff, and I don't want that to be an issue right later. And what I do is I drink mine, I rinse my glass, and then I shoot it all back because I'm not letting any of that go away, right? I want to make sure I get all of it, and I do the same thing with my collagen. So we have a tremendous group, as you can see, of activation products, right? And Tanya and I are blessed to be able to be part of LifeVantage. And really, we want to make sure you guys understand the importance of activation and how this can be something that makes a big difference for you. And if you're sitting there going, oh my gosh, you know what? I have a friend who's got this and this and this and this, or I know that I am going to be just like Nikki and not be able to stop talking about this because people need to know their options. Then think about a little bit more about what Tanya's going to talk to you about here in just a second. So I'll shoot this back to her. And remember that we all need a little bit of an edge to be able to manage the things that are coming at us every single day. And we're really excited to be able to do that. Do you want to go through this slide or do you want me to, Tanya?
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. So one of the things that they did, and we laughed because they always talk about sports analogies at LifeVantage events, and we were laughing, or I was laughing a bunch about it because I'm like, offense, defense. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what we have in this. And we call this the healthy edge stack. Remember I told you that when we add in Protanum Nerf 2 into any of the products, it even makes it better, right? And so we have a lot of stuff going on and in the works to be able to bring you more information shortly, but really fun to be able to think about the defense with our Protanum Nerf 2, right? And then our offense of our P84, because a lot of people need to know that there's a massive communication going between your gut and your brain. And some people, we don't have a good communication system going between, and we need to work on it, right? And so being able to restore ourselves and improve this communication channel is really, really important to have us at our peak performance and optimal health. Granted, you're still going to run into things, right? We're still going to get sick. We're still, I mean, none of us get out of this game alive, right? But the whole object is to die old as young as possible, right? We want to be old in old age, but young in our ability to be able to maintain our health and our wellness. So being able to have this healthy edge is what we're talking about when we're looking at making those antioxidants and increasing those gut peptides and having that 24/7 offense defense. And I think that is a tremendous thing to be able to say because a lot of us are trying to mix a bunch of things and we're trying to do this and trying to keep track and not overdo one or the other. But when we put this system together and we don't have to worry about it and our body is just figuring it out for us, that helps to make it so that life is just overall easier in general, right? All right, Tanya, back to you, dear.
All right, Nikki, I love you. Thank you so much for that amazing information. You guys, I'm so fired up about this, and I'm glad that you're still with us or if you're watching this back. I just want you to know, like that picture of my husband, I remember him saying to me, I never thought that my body was capable of feeling this way again. We've been married for 25 years, and from day one when I met him, he was on medications. And we tried a lot of stuff to help my husband, and there were just many things that just wouldn't help him until we found activation. So 40 pounds off later, four medications off later, his life, it's like he's literally Benjamin Button and feels better than he ever has before. So I'm so grateful for the way that LifeVantage has equipped us with the knowledge and the power of the a power of wisdom that we need to make the right choices for our health, to live a quality filled life and be there for the people that we love the most, and feel vitality in the midst of it. And as I said, when this was introduced to me, and I'm not going to take a lot more of your time, but I was looking for an opportunity. I was looking for something to help my husband health wise, and I was looking for a way to have more income at the end of the month and not feel broke. And I found both of those within LifeVantage. And as you heard Nikki talk about the story of activation, you saw cellular health, you saw energy drinks, you saw metabolic health, you saw now gut activators. And we have skincare, we have healthcare, we have pet care. We encompass all of that with our activators. And each one of those categories are not fads. They're not going to just be here today and gone tomorrow. Those are trends that are going to stick, and people more and more as the years go on are going to look for ways to be proactive with it. And as we look at this slide too, I mean, it's telling you that the gut market is $14 billion today, and it's estimated to be 32.4 billion by 2035. Those were things that I was not told to look for. I just thought if I found a product that looked like it was fun and I could make money, I was going to try it. But there's more to the story when you really want to make a business that can really build a legacy and make an impact in your family's life. And that's what I wanted. And I know as you're watching this, not everybody's looking for an opportunity. Some of you may just be here for the health picture of it. But maybe you know someone that is looking, or maybe there will be a point in your life where what you hear tonight is exactly what you need at that moment. So, the other thing with this, with LifeVantage, with network marketing, the thing about network marketing is it's going to give you everything you need to start a business for a low barrier of entry. Okay. So, we are leading the way in the realm and the story of activation. As I told you, worldwide, we have a small pie of people telling this story. And in the US, it's even smaller. It's about 60,000 consultants. We're headquartered in Utah. As I said, we're debt free. That's why we could acquire and bring on a new company with an amazing gut activator. We have a turnkey system. The person that's bringing you here tonight, they're not the one doing the story. They're not telling you the story of LifeVantage. They have someone else doing that for you. The system is in place for you. And if you're coachable and you have a burning desire for change, there is no reason that you can't make this work for you. You can make leveraged income. You can do social selling if you want. There's a compensation plan that pays you multiple ways, and you do not have to carry an inventory. And the culture and the community, like I said, I didn't know Nikki when I got in, and now I can't imagine my life without her and Mitch. Like the people that you meet and the community and the culture that you have along the way, that is the biggest piece of this pie. That is something you don't get if you only just focus on influencing and social selling. Okay. That is something that is there for you with like minded people, heart centered people, and they're there for you when you need them the most in your family, and they become friends that you didn't know you needed. So, activation around the globe, we are growing. We are currently in 19 countries. And again, we are looking to open in many, many other countries. Our mission is we offer people around the world a better path to wellness and a healthy, vibrant life and a better path to health, wealth as well. So we love our customers. As you saw at the beginning of this, we've got a 70% retention rate. And right now we've got such a great deal. Nikki talked about that healthy edge stack. So I wanted to highlight that because I am telling you, honey, like if ever there were a stack that you wanted to start with, it is P84 with Protandem. You saw, as Nikki talked about, anytime we layer Protandem with any of our products, every one of those are stacks that we sell. And every time we do it, there's this Thelma and Louise salt and pepper synergy that happens that makes them so good. It's a synergistic layering effect that enhances both products synergistic together that give you an extra added boost. And that's what you're getting with our Healthy Edge stack. Right now, if you get that stack and you get started on that, you not only get free shipping as a new customer, but you're getting a free hand cream, our Mango Blossom hand cream. And this is not just any other hand cream. This is like the best hand cream of your life. It smells so good. It's so hydrating, and it would also make just a great stocking stuffer for the holidays. But if you're looking for a way to get started before the end of the year, to have a write off, to get involved in a beautiful community, it's one thing for if I'm a customer, I'm going to change my own life. But if I become a consultant, now I'm giving myself the ability to change a lot of other lives. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to change my life. But then as I grew as a person and I became that person I knew I could become, all I wanted to do now and all I want to do is extend that forward and help other people. So we have many different ways that you can get in as a consultant to make this a business for you. We've got our Healthy Edge pack. It's not a stack. The pack allows you to have a business. It's just $250 to get started with the Healthy Edge pack. 90% of this, right? You get the product to get you started. And then we've got our business pack. This is the highest pack that we have, less than $1,000. Yes, it's a penny less than $1,000. And I'm telling you again, you get the website, you get the app, you get support, you get trainings, you get everything you need. All you need to do is now build your belief and share with other people. Share that gift of activation, and you get to use moments like tonight, trainings, teachings like tonight to help share the story of what we have. So there are different ways that you can get paid in network marketing, and that's what I love so much. And with InLifeVantage, we will pay you if all you want to do is focus on customers and you're not ready to build a team. You can do that. You can make up to 30% back just by sharing with customers. The minute you sign a customer, you're going to get your first paycheck. You're going to get paid the difference between what they pay as a customer and what you pay as a consultant. That comes to you right away. And then on top of that, at the end of every month, on the 15th of the next month, we're going to pay you an extra 5 to 20% based on the amount of customers that you've shared with and that you've brought in. We've got different ways for you to get started, incentives that are in your first 90 days to help you get out of the gates and get your business rolling. But these level commissions, this is what changed my life and my husband's life. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Leveraged income. And the other thing that I love about our compensation plan is when you see the word leadership match, leadership pool, these are ways that the company is going to pay you by helping other people. It doesn't matter where they're at in your organization. If you have people raising their hand, no matter who brought them in your organization, and you reach down and you help them succeed and get where they want to go, even if it means surpassing you, the company is going to compensate you for doing so. And isn't that the way the world should be in the first place? Okay. This is our income disclosure statement, and I'm going to focus on that third category, the average monthly commissions. And you're going to see here an extra $27 up to over $100,000. All of it is possible, and a lot of it I have lived through. And when I first got into LifeVantage, a week later, my husband was laid off from his job, and he got a severance, which was great. But then all of a sudden, he found a job in another state and we had to move. And at the time that we moved, it was about 6 months later, I was making it about $300 to $400 in LifeVantage. That $300 to $400 that I was getting leveraged on a monthly basis because people keep taking the products and they keep talking about them, that filled a gap in our life that we needed. My husband took a pay decrease, and me making that extra 300 to 400 was huge for us. And I felt like I could climb the highest mountain because I could not believe that I was making an extra $300 to $400 a month in a network marketing business. And I was having fun doing it, and I was changing a lot of lives. Like, talk about building your belief and making an impact. And an extra $300 to $500 right now in someone's life is all the difference. Things are expensive today, and especially with the holidays coming around, you'd be really surprised how quickly, with our compensation plan and the incentives we have in place, that someone could make that and bring that into their life very, very quickly. And then fast forward, in the middle of my LifeVantage career, life happens to all of us, right? You never know what's going to come at you. And life hit us hard. And at a moment when it hit us the hardest, and it was hard for me to show up, I didn't have to talk to a boss. I didn't have to ask for time off. I didn't have to look for sick leave. I got to be where I needed to be for my family. And I built a business that I built it strong enough and foundationally effective enough that money kept coming in for my family. I did not have to worry about income for my family while I took care of them because of network marketing. I think a lot of people today, they look at network marketing and they think it's become a world of influencing and selling online, and that is not the case. The best network marketers I feel today are the ones that are getting in front of people, they're getting into living rooms, they're meeting people belly to belly, and they're hearing about their pain and the problems that they're facing today. And when they do that, they offer that solution. Those are the people that are succeeding in this world today, and that's what the world needs the most. They need person to person interaction, and they need to know that they're being heard. And those are the people that we're looking for. This may or may not be a fit for you, but I am telling you, this is so real. And I'll tell you quickly too, LifeVantage offers insurance, and that has been huge for our family. You don't have to qualify for it. You don't have to hit a certain level to do it. The minute you become a consultant with LifeVantage, you are qualified and able to have insurance with this company. So I cannot speak highly enough about LifeVantage. I am in for the long haul. I believe in this with all my heart. And like I said, we are looking for more people to lock arms with and share this gift with people around the world. So get back to the person that invited you tonight. Let them know where you're at. Our websites are filled with the most phenomenal information that breaks it down so simplistically for you, no matter what product you're looking at or what health solution you might need. Or if you're looking to look a little bit more at the wealth side and find out how you can really tap in and make money, we will help direct you. Just let the person know that invited you exactly where they're at, and they will get back to you and guide you. So thank you so much for being here tonight. We're so grateful that you took the time to do this, and we just hope and pray that this becomes a tool for you to use for other people as well. Thanks so much, Nikki. I love you.
Love you, Tanya. Great job. Thanks, you
You
guys.
too.
Nice to see everyone. Have a great
Bye,
week.
everybody.